Hello, my name is Tina Celeste, and this is my presentation for EDUC 524-01 Module 4.1, How to Incorporate UDL Checkpoints and Principles with Technology to Create an Inclusive Classroom for Diverse Groups of Learners. In this assignment, I will explain how students come to class with diverse learning needs, abilities, motivations, and background knowledge. Implementing techniques and strategies that accommodate a wide range of learners is my goal as a teacher. Using universal design for learning allows me and my students flexible and several ways to represent materials, to represent learning disabilities like dyslexia, to accommodate multicultural students and ELL students. When a student speaks their home language and culture and comes to class, and English isn't their first language, UDL allows them a more expansive learning environment. Today I will touch on 3 different areas of presenting. First, I will go over 3 options for perceiving and representing information. Second, I will go over 3 options for expressing learning and ways students can demonstrate their knowledge. And lastly, I will go over 3 options for comprehending and ways to engage students with course materials. So first is 3 options for perceiving and receiving information using technology through engagement. Presenting can be done through songs and games for memorizing math facts. When I originally would just lecture my students and use physical flashcards, many of them had hard times mastering facts, especially when they were time facts. When I started using UDL principles through songs and games, both with peers and with me as the teacher, their learning expanded. First, I'll use the example of digital text through checkpoint 7.3. This represents nurturing joy and play. The technology I like to use for this is Google Slides with specific fonts and color coding. Second, I use audio and visual, incorporating visual aids. This utilizes checkpoint 8.5, action-oriented feedback, using icons and captions. Lastly, I use interactive tools utilizing checkpoint 9.3, cultivating empathy, using quizzes and polls. Next, I'll go over 3 options for students to express their learning through representation through online discussion forums. First is flexible assignments, utilizing checkpoint 2.5, illustrating through multiple media. Lesson is math facts, using expressions through dance, sounds, fonts, speech, and speech to text. Second is digital tools for expression, utilizing checkpoint 1.3, diversity of perspective in authentic ways. Using a program like Miro has a whiteboard collaborative feedback, utilizing touch, sight, and sounds. I find when my students are able to get out of their desk and walk up to the front of the room and actually interact with the whiteboard and interact with one another, they can express their learning. To use online discussion forums, I really like Google Suite. It allows my students to give each other feedback. Especially this is useful through ELA. In ELA, when we're doing writing assignments, I provide my students with a rubric and exemplar. Part of the criteria shows a topic sentence, supporting details, and a concluding sentence. Students can collaborate with me and with their peers through Google Suite. It helps students who need additional support through brainstorming. It also reinforces learning and removes potential barriers. I like to use color coding, especially for my students with dyslexia. Colors can also be used not only in sentences, but to identify key items we're learning, such as adjectives, nouns, and verbs. Next is 3 options for comprehending and learning through action and expression, supporting choice and collaboration. First, I'll go over gamification. This utilizes checkpoint 4.2. Quizlet is a very goal-oriented app that my students really enjoy. It encourages more in-depth vocabulary and writing challenges. We utilize it for multicultural lessons as well as geography. Next is accessibility to online discussions and forums utilizing checkpoint 5.1. The technology I use in this area is Google Suite and mind mapping using Poplet. Lastly is real-world connections through applications to connect learning. This is utilizing checkpoint 6.4, enhancing capacity for monitoring progress. Kahoot is a really great program because you can get creative. My students like to actually be the creator, and they like to stump their classmates. So we really have a fun, engaging time with lots of different subjects. We can use it for ELA, for math, for religion, even for physical education. The sky's the limit, where we can utilize Kahoot in a fun manner, but we can also use it to monitor progress to make sure students are prepared for tests. Nearpod is also another really fun game to do these same principles. Here I've attached the cast graphic to show engagement, representation, and action and expression. It's where I got all of my checkpoints, and it also shows the access, support, and executive function features that technology can utilize to bring UDL into the classroom and to engage all types of diverse learners. Thank you for listening to my presentation.